Hey guys, welcome back. Justin here with Fast Entrepreneur, and this video is about crypto launch pads. Let's get into it. So here we go. Got a basketball hoop behind me. I just figured it'd be cool. Crypto launch pads, what are they? Well, crypto launch pads are basically a way for projects, instead of just listing by themselves, right, direct listings, they use these launch pads to rocket them, right, to soar towards the rim, to soar towards the basket. Why? Because they want to get more exposure. And so what we're seeing these crypto launch pads occur in a lot of these different ecosystems, right? We have crypto launch pads like Polkastarter, polls, right? We have BSC pad for Binance Smart Chain. We have, others on the Cardano, Cardano network. We have KickPad, which is one I'll probably just focus on because that's kind of one I've been looking at a little bit more for Binance Smart Chain. But they all have pros and cons. So let's get into it. Why would you maybe be interested in crypto launch pads? Like, how much money can you really make? I mean, let's get into it. Well, here's how they work, okay? Again, I gotta say, I'm not a financial advisor. This ain't financial advice. Do your own research, blah, 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 right? No. That's the truth. That's a serious matter. That's why I'm saying it. But it's also the truth, and it's also a serious matter, that crypto launch pads are huge. And what it allows you to do, it allows you to potentially get access to invest in projects at like the early stages, right? So you get it before everybody else. So you might get it, at a really low price, and then it gets launched, and then it goes up like this, and you're already in massive profit. And that's the goal. So here's the deal. The reality is some of these launch pads, while in theory, yeah, they make a lot of sense, right? It takes the power away from, the connected and the VCs and, everybody else that usually, the insiders that usually get the deals before the common folk. But the reality of the situation, it's like climbing a jungle gym. It doesn't quite work that way. And why do I say that? Well, because sometimes a lot of these, just in order to qualify, you have to hold a certain number of these launchpad tokens to be eligible to invest when these new projects come out. But the reality is some of these launchpad, you might need like, I don't know, $20,000 worth, right, of these launchpad tokens, just so you can get a little bit of allocation, just so you get a little bit, a fraction, that you can put in. And for a lot of people, that just, maybe that's not something you can do, or it's not something that, now some people can. And if you can, hey, then, but there are other launch pads, and this is why I'm going to mention KickPad. Now, KickPad to me was interesting, right? KickPad, in order to get an allocation, and they've changed it, I guess now it's, you have to hold 2,500 KickPad. KickPad, I think, is around 60 cents or something today. So if you do the math, I don't know, what's the math come out to? Maybe $1,500 worth or something like that. And you, in theory, will get allocation of like $50 that you can invest in these future projects. Now, $50 doesn't seem like a lot, right? I mean, so you can earn money two ways. The first way is the price of, say, I'm just using KickPad as an example, because why? Because it's one of the cheapest, lowest entry fee launch pads that I'm aware of. But I will tell you this, their mission is a little different, right? I mean, they're looking to do something for DeFi, but with anonymous teams. And I've never really been a fan of anonymous teams. However, they have a flip side, this KickDex, which locks up liquidity to prevent, hopefully, rug pulls. And that's kind of one of the, if you don't know what a rug pull is, now you know. It's when you put your money in and then the founders, they just pull the rug and they leave with all your money, and bye-bye, liquidity's gone. And not cool. So they're trying to solve this. Now, $50, let's say if you are managing to get in, you get an allocation, you stake your coins, you get an allocation, $50. So if you invest $50 in a project, let's say they launch, say, 2 projects a week. Well, how much money can you really make? Well, I mean, if we've all kind of looked at, most of these launches, they tend to go up immediately when they're, when they hit the exchanges, and there's a lot of hype around them, because if they're on launch pads, a lot of hype, a lot of marketing, and then they kind of crash and they plummet. So how much can we make off of $50? Well, let's just put it this way. On KickPad alone, I think their first IDO did like a 24x. It was a Urokuro, right? Some Japanese Oracle project, okay? And so, I mean, do the math. I'm just saying, if you had invested $50 times 24, that's what, $1,200? So if it, I mean, I'm not saying it did, but let's say it did at the time. Let's say you spent $1,500, right, to get an allocation, and then on your first go around, you invest 50 in a project, and then you sold it at 1,200. I mean, hey, that's not a bad investment. But when you think of the potential that there could be more and more future projects, and I've actually looked, just Kickpad alone has already had, I don't know, maybe 5 projects or so. And so, you know, I can't say that they've all done 24x, but even, you know, some of the ones out there now, it looks like they're doing, you know, 4 or 5x, let's say, you know, the most recent. I'm just saying, to me, it looks like a very interesting proposition, because it's almost like, you know, a money printer. If these projects you can get into and you can continually, you know, double your money, triple your money, 5 times your money, maybe more, it doesn't take you long to, you know, make back your investment that it took you to get into one of these launch pads. But at the same time, you know, the price of the Launchpad token could appreciate. So if that happens, then you're making money on both ends. But on the flip side, the price of the Launchpad token could depreciate, and you could lose money. You know, you have to consider that. But in terms of the allocation, I mean, $50 maybe doesn't sound like a lot, but you are diversifying at least amongst projects, right? So, you know, let's say if you don't make any money, $50, and the price stays, you know, flat, okay, you didn't lose any money. I mean, you know, and if they're preventing rug pulls, then hopefully your $50 don't go down to $1. So, you know, you're diversifying yourself amongst new projects on these platforms. And I think as these launch pads continue to get, you know, more and more popular, as some of them already are, you know, then the quality of projects that want to be there, that they, you know, attract, gets greater and greater. So anyways, I personally think that launch pads, you know, like I said, not a financial advisor doing your research, but I think that financial or crypto launch pads are just very interesting. And I really, really think that, you know, if you do the math on some of these, it might not be that bad of a play. You know, you might find that you're doing quite well. And hey, if you know, it's up to you. I mean, you got to do what you want to do. I'm just saying, I look at where the narratives are going, and it looks like that launch pads are a big thing. Even if you don't invest in these projects, what I've also noticed is most of these other major launch pads, take like Polkastarter, BSC pad, stuff like this, the price of the Launchpad token alone, has already increased in some of these cases 5, 10x or more. I mean, so pretty neat. Now, I didn't think I was going to mention it, but I'm going to mention it anyways, because it came across, you know, my attention this morning. We all know meme coins, you know, Dogecoin, PooCoin charts, right? I did a video on PooCoin charts. It's like blowing up. I got over like 200 views right now. I mean, I don't know, people just must love talking about PooCoin or whatever. But the reality is, I just came across a new launchpad this morning. It's called MemePad. So what is MemePad? Well, MemePad is essentially, they're looking to be a launch pad for only meme coins, charity coins, and also, you know, beep coins. Now, I did look. It sounds cool. It sounds funny. You got to understand, this is not, I don't think that meme coins are, you know, necessarily the best investment, but they're real, and it's psychology, and people do put their money there. So, but when I did look at the allocation, the amount that you would need for allocation, I mean, it was very, very high. So it doesn't look like it's accessible to most people, but hey, I guess for the larger players, you know, what I'm saying is, I don't think you're going to be getting much of an allocation if you only got a couple $1,000s and you want to, you know, get meme coin. But, you know, I think it was like, even for their top tier, it was like $75,000. You can be the Elon. He's on a rocket ship, the Elon. But anyways, I like to stick with, you know, the launch pads that I think are really launching like real projects. And, you know, but listen, it's also crypto. It's also fun. That's why I share what I find with you all. And, you know, it's up to you if you want to take a look at it. But when it comes to crypto launch pads, definitely a real thing. Find legit ones, find legit projects, and you might have a good time. See ya.